Hello, and welcome to MoviePod, a weekly cinema podcast. I'm your host, Brian Wishart. This week, to tie in with the new film Mortal Kombat, we're going back to where it all began, with Paul W.S. Anderson's film Mortal Kombat, which is the first video game movie to actually make money. I've done Super Mario Brothers on this podcast before, and that one didn't make money, but this one did. And for the longest period of time, this was considered one of the better video game movies, just because the fact that it's not great, but it's better than the rest. And on Rotten Tomatoes, from the start of 1998 to 2018, it was the highest rated video game movie of all time, which says a lot about the video game movie landscape. So I'm joined by the Haven't Seen It guys, Tommy and Tim, to discuss this real gem of a movie. How's it going, guys?
What's up? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. I do want to clarify, and I had this conversation, I think, with Tommy yesterday when we were recording our podcast, because I think one of the fatal issues that video games tend to have in adaptations is they try to make them very literal to the source material. Mm-hmm. And the experience of playing a game and even experiencing like a story narrative in a game is entirely different than like watching a movie. And I always say like none of these movies really capture the feeling of actually playing the game, which is what I think they need to be going after, versus being like Mario must rescue the princess, so that's what this movie's about. And it's like, okay, but that's who cares, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like this one kind of does a little bit in like a weird hokey way.
Yeah, because these games. So like the original Mortal Kombat game, I think, is 1992, and so like that's like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis kind of thing.
I think it was on the Genesis first, and like then the Super Nintendo one came out where they like took out the blood and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
there's no blood in Super Nintendo, so it was like the lamer version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like there's not a lot of blood in this movie too, and that's what gets knocked on by a law, is that like they try to get a PG-13 rating, and the logic that the producer and Paul W.S. Anderson had made sense, is that a lot of the fans of these video games are kids. So if we make an R-rated movie, none of the fans are going to be able to see the movie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at the time, whereas that was the one thing that was holding it back for me. Where like I just would have loved to see if like, I don't know, jumping ahead, but like when Jax is in a fight, if like his arms got ripped off at the end, just like in the games.
Yeah, like it would be so much better. Like that's the thing. It's like that's not even Jax. I was confused. Like, wait, is that Jax? But like,
no,
it's
that's
not.
just a guy. That's just a guy who we meet like when they go on the boats.
Yeah,
which this is another one of these like unintentionally hilarious moments. Like we meet this guy once. He's just like he's a black guy, but he's not Jax, because Jax
looks
is
like
over...
the guy who's Jax at the start of the movie.
Yeah, so they're both bald black guys.
Yeah,
and I think he's not a character in the games either. He's just like a random guy, and then he's in the movie for like a minute, and then he's there fighting Goro. I'm not the Goro. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
We can discuss our backgrounds with Mortal Kombat. I have a little bit of experience with it, but not too much. So it's not like a huge like nostalgia spot for me.
Yeah.
And like I felt like the movie really disappointed me with the Goro kills, because I loved like the clunky 90s puppet. Like I thought that was hilarious, and then the kills weren't there.
Fun puppet.
But
it was awesome.
It cuts to Bridget Wilson just like, no! I'm like, you two have not interacted one time in this movie. Why are you getting so upset about this?
Until we were talking about it, I thought that it was like, oh, she's like sad that Jax is dying.
It makes sense for it to be Jax.
It made so much sense for it to be Jax. Like, where's the little scene of him like with like some hook claw or something, just like dangling on the back of the boat the whole time? Like, I don't like. You could do something. Who cares? Do something silly.
This is based on Mortal Kombat 1, and Jax is a Mortal Kombat 2 character. He's introduced there, so like. I think him just being the start of the movie is a bit more of a cameo than anything else. Like, basically, the entire cast of this movie is just the cast of the first game.
Okay.
Well, this came out, like, before Mortal Kombat 2, right? Or at least in production
came
before?
Out after Mortal Kombat 2, I think.
Yeah, but I imagine in production already.
Yeah, because they were visiting... the producer of this movie was visiting Midway Games. Like, hey, like, I'll buy the film rights to make this. And it was like, well, Mortal Kombat does... even the people making the game didn't think it was going to work out well as a movie. And it made money. And it's funny, because, like, I was really bad at fighting games as a kid, so I never really played them much in the 90s. But I got really into Mortal Kombat with Mortal Kombat in 2011. It was just called Mortal Kombat, like a reboot of the series.
That's my Mortal Kombat also.
Yeah. And what I liked about those ones, from that game forward to like Mortal Kombat X 11 and Mortal Kombat 1, is that like they have really good story modes, or like really engaging story modes. They're very cinematic, like, you know, you do your fights and such, and like, you know, all the characters interact with one another. A lot of personality like comes out the characters. But what's interesting is that, you know, Sonya Blade in this movie is pretty much how Sonya Blade acts for the rest of the series. Same with like Johnny Cage. Like the characters are kind of like locked in, despite the fact that like they're the first couple of video games, like all of the information is gonna be in a video game manual. It's not really, these are not cinematic games. They basically just have like, you know, it's just fight scenes really.
A quick like 2 or 3 sentences, if that, about each character.
Yeah. And well, I think another thing was like they made Kano, right? The guy with the cyborg eye. He like the actor was Australian, so then he became Australian in the games also.
Well, apparently they thought that he was Australian, but the actor was actually like just using Cockney English, and he was like, "All right, well, I'll buy it. That'll be my career. I'll just be Australian."
So you guys didn't really grow up with the games at all then, much, did you?
I did a little bit. But I think that for Tim and I, we really got into it around the time of Mortal Kombat 9, which was 2011 one. Because I remember when we were in high school, our friend group like was like obsessed with that game. We would play that like all the time and just like go back and forth. And that's really from there onwards is where like I really got into it, because I feel like there's a little lull period in like the 2000s for Mortal Kombat.
Oh, those games were like, I wasn't playing them too much. I had a friend that like he was always renting them and playing them, and like they were clunky games. Like they had like Mortal Kombat Armageddon had like something like over 100 characters, and it's just kind of
too
like,
much.
so diluted. And like I went back and played for the Xbox 360 after I got really into the Mortal Kombat like 9 and 10 and 11. I went back and got a Mortal Kombat versus DC.
That's the only other one I've ever like I've played around with like Mortal Kombat 1 or 2 on like remember like right when the App Store was becoming huge on iPhones, like 2012, 2013, everyone's getting an iPhone. They were just dropping like classic games like that. Like I tried it there, but it didn't hit there. But I've had
it does not work on an iPhone. I imagine it's really complicated.
It's not great. But I had DC versus Mortal Kombat versus DC, which like people, I didn't know. I had a lot of fun with it, but I didn't know the criticisms was that there wasn't like no blood, because like I just didn't grow up with Mortal Kombat, so like, I didn't know that like fine. You needed like all these vicious kills and stuff in it to like make it a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah. Well, I think
Tim, I remember.
It had the kills for the Mortal Kombat characters, but not the DC ones. So
it was the DC villains could kill, but Superman
Joker could,
and like
but
Flash
not Superman,
couldn't.
Yeah, but like Batman shouldn't be killing. I don't know. That's like not his.
I get that.
You know?
Well, I remember Tim at our rec center in like our hometown. For some reason, there's no arcade machines except for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and it usually wasn't on. I remember I kept on asking the counselors every day, like, "Hey, can we turn this on? I want to play Mortal Kombat. This sounds awesome."
That's the most Tommy thing, like at work, being like, "Can we turn on the arcade machine, please?" At like 15.
Yeah, of course. That's what you gotta do. I do have a Sega Genesis at my apartment. Some neighbor just left it and was gonna throw it out, and I was like, "Oh, I'll take this." And I ended up buying like a copy of Mortal Kombat 2, which is a fun game. Nice. But just a lot of those early fighting games, the AI, like after one round, it's just like, how can I steal your quarters, or how are you gonna lose immediately?
Yeah, they're not well balanced games at all.
They're definitely designed for the arcade. I will say I was always a smoke guy in Mortal Kombat 9, because he had that one move that he like zigged from one side to the other, and then would punch and then come back and hit you again if you didn't block it right. And I would just spam that, and I would grief some wins off people doing that. And
I was lame. My guy was Stryker, the cop. It was like all these like mystical guys. I picked like the most normal looking guy in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Now they have like the Terminator and stuff in like the new ones. And,
they have like guest characters, like they have
Freddy's
Jason one.
Yeah.
The T-1000's in the latest one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And they're like, I do have a lot of, like I have the latest Mortal Kombat game, but I've not played through it too much. But yeah, they're fun games. I'm not great at these fighting games, but like it's also just fun just doing these fatalities. Like the fatalities games, they're so gnarly and disgusting and like so brutal. They're fun.
It's the ultimate fuck you to your friend after you beat them. Like, how
Exactly,
look at this shit.
I like how in the movie, if we're going to tie it back to the movie, because like this is the PG-13 version of Mortal Kombat, so this is DC versus Mortal Kombat, if you will.
This is the Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat.
This is the Super Nintendo. So instead of like actually having vicious kills, they just had Sheng whatever, just say fatality over and over again. Just like anytime somebody died, finish him.
Flawless victory.
He said flawless victory so many times. Every
like,
time
oh
I clapped,
God.
I was like, "You go, movie."
So
you let us know what's going on.
So had you guys seen this movie before?
No.
This is my first time. I knew of it. I also do want to mention I love how Paul Thomas Anderson has a Wario out there.
It's so fun. He's credited as Paul Anderson in this movie, and of course, it's probably because of Paul Thomas Anderson emerging that he's like, I got to add the W.S. into my name.
Well, is Paul W.S. Anderson like the greatest slop director of all time? Like just studio guy that just makes junk. Like
I think
like
so.
that makes money.
I think he has to be there.
Yeah, I like his Resident Evil movies. I did the very first Resident Evil movie on this podcast, and I want to do more of them. I'm like, they're fun movies, and those Resident Evil movies get very good once they become like, hey, I have a very hot wife. I'm gonna make her cool as hell in these movies, and you guys are gonna love it. And it's just like an interesting showcase for like a guy, just the biggest wife guy on the planet.
Hey, exactly. Just let my wife go. I remember Alien vs. Predator was the first of either movies of that franchise. Saw my brother like showed it to me when I was like I was in 4th grade when Alien vs. Predator came out, and my brother was like, "We're gonna go see that in theaters." I was like, "Oh shit! Wait, there's actual like good movies in this franchise. Let's go seek those out now."
I like Paul W.S. Anderson a lot, but I do not like that Alien vs. Predator at all.
Again, that's a PG-13 movie that should be rated R.
Yeah,
he's got the Three Musketeers and Pompeii. I remember Pompeii coming out. Oof! Talk about a miss. He made a Monster Hunter game. Like this guy is just honestly, like the king of adaptations.
I've never played Monster Hunter before, but I like that movie.
Really?
It reminds me of the Bill Murray story about how Bill Murray got involved with Garfield, that it was written by a guy named Ethan Coen, and he figured, one of the Coen brothers wrote this movie. I'm going to sign up and not look up anything else about this. And then he realized Ethan Coen is a completely different guy. Yeah. That was like one of like 8 writers on Toy Story, and like mostly wrote like shitty children's movies.
One of my favorite stories like that is for the David Lynch Dune. He wanted to cast Patrick Stewart got cast in the movie. And when Patrick Stewart, the guy we know and love, shows up to the set there, he's like, "Why are you bald?" He's like, "This is what I look like." Like, "Are you sure you're Patrick Stewart?" And David Lynch was thinking of a different Patrick Stewart.
He's rolling the face. He's like, "Fine, you're on the movie."
You're on the movie, and that was like Patrick Stewart's like first like movie, I think. And then he becomes Jean-Luc Picard a few years later, and now he's the guy he's one of the best.
Professor X. Mm-hmm. Are you sure you're Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
Where's your hair?
Oh man, I also like love with Star Trek Next Generation that we're going very off topic, but like they tried doing wigs for Patrick Stewart for the character for Jean-Luc Picard.
Did they?
Yeah. At first, there's like this does not look right. Let's just keep him bald. And like Patrick Stewart.
I hope it was like 80s mullets.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious. Like like Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, exactly.
A futuristic mullet.
And I think he was able to convince him that like in like the 24th century, no one would care if you're bald or not. And I was like, well, okay, fine, that fits. You don't have to wear a wig. But
explanation for why I'm bald.
Yeah. But yeah, so back to Mortal Kombat. Like, this is a movie that I saw when I was like a teenager. It was on TV or something like that, and like I thought it was dumb as hell. But like, as I mentioned earlier before, like there were no good video game movies for a long period of time. Like, people come back around to like some movies in the past because like, you know, that Mario Bros movie, like that is so unlike the Mario games. So like they had complete creative freedom. You get the Resident Evil movies, which are just like so different from the games, or try to be more of you know, there's a different. It's basically like playing like, you know, it's like playing with Resident Evil action figures and making your own action movie out of some action figures. Than it is like an adaptation of the video game. And with this one,
is there a good video game movie?
Is there a good one? Like I had this discussion with a couple of guys from GG Tribune about if there's good ones or not. And like I argue there's a few of them. Like like, people like Detective Pikachu a lot. I think that so I mentioned that there's a 20-year gap between when Rotten Tomatoes started and when a movie got higher in the tomato reader than Mortal Kombat. And it was that 2018 Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider movie that actually beat Mortal Kombat.
Really?
Oh, really?
I forgot that movie came out. I
think it's good.
So real.
Yeah. But
yeah, I know people talk about. I mean, it's not a movie, but they talk about like the Last of Us TV series. I never played the game. I'm like, I'm gonna save that one for whenever I end up playing the game. I will before I die.
The games
basically,
are better.
if you watch the because the game is basically, or the show rather, is just a 1-for-1 recreation, minus like one great episode of Nick Offerman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, season 1 is exactly that, and season 2 they missed the point of the game, so that was very frustrating.
I mean, I like the Jim Carrey Sonic movies. They're like fun 3 out of 5s.
Yeah, exactly. They're like I think
they're in the realm
of
they're in the realm of this though, if that makes sense. Like the Jim Carrey Sonic the Hedgehog movies, kind of like
I'd say it's slightly better than that.
They have better acting, they have better CG. They understand how to like actually market a video game movie now versus like in the 90s they had no idea what to do with this stuff.
But like for the longest time, when you heard video game movie, it's like, oh well, that's gonna be shit. I have no interest in seeing that. And you could argue maybe it still is this case. But it seems like that's become the new thing of the 2020s, where like people love video game
My hot
movies.
take is the best one I've seen is the Illumination Super Mario Bros. The first one. I think that I don't think it's a great movie by any means, but I think it's like, and it's for toddlers, but I think
it's kid slop.
But it captures the spirit. It captures the spirits of the Mario series. Like I said that at the top. Like I think that's what video game movies tend to, or adaptations to outside of their struggle to capture, is like the feeling you get playing it. That's what you need your audience to connect to.
You weren't a fan of the Gran Turismo movie that kept on saying, this is based on a true story, and this is why you should see it. That was like the only marketing for it.
Actually, wait, the greatest video game movies of all time are the Fast and Furious movies, no? Like, they have to be.
I mean, they're not based on a video game, though.
Isn't the Fast and Furious? Wasn't that an arcade?
You're thinking of Need for Speed.
No, I know the Aaron Paul Need for. Believe me, I know about the Aaron Paul Need for Speed.
That movie's so fun. Kid Cudi steals 3 helicopters in that movie.
Okay, I need to see this movie.
That's awesome. Yeah. But wait, I thought Fast and Furious. So like the movies came out and they just made it into an arcade game. I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah, the movies came out and they ripped off Point Break at first, and then ended up becoming
Point Break ripoff. But Fast and Furious is based on an article in a magazine. Yeah, and then they took the title from like a 50s racing movie, and then just did a Point Break ripoff.
Yeah. Back to Mortal Kombat. This is like an interesting period where like we had the Street Fighter movie come out at the exact same time, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally they wanted him to get it for Johnny Cage, but he was like, "No, I want Street Fighter."
Yeah, because they based Johnny Cage on Jean-Claude Van Damme in the games, so like, yeah, and I think they based like Sonya Blade off Cynthia Rothrock. Like, they're basing these off of like real people, except for like of course the ninjas are not based on real people. Like, there's no Sub-Zero in real life.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no guy screaming, "Get over here!"
Yeah,
get over here! Hey. Hey, you haven't been in certain bars, but there are guys saying, "Get over here!"
But one thing,
just like that.
When this movie starts off, you know you're in for a good time because the movie starts off yelling the title of the movie, "Mortal Kombat," and then the theme kicks in. It's the best way to open a movie possible, right? Like, just screaming the title of the movie at you, and then having this badass theme play.
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what you're in for. You're like, okay, let's go.
Mortal Kombat. I knew I was in for slop. I mentioned before we started.
This is no Citizen Kane.
No, I understand. We're not getting. Speaking of Citizen Kane, my first time watching this was last night after Tommy and I finished recording an episode of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Now, for those unfamiliar with 2001: A Space Odyssey, it's one of the great American films ever made. It's truly an experimental thought process. It's crazy. It is a bit of whiplash, I will say, to go from 2001: A Space Odyssey to Mortal Kombat, just exactly how Stanley Kubrick envisioned it.
Yeah. It felt weird at my local video store. I rented both movies at the same time. It's just like here's some great movie and here's some pure shit I'm watching too. It's like, here you go, video clerk. Just judge me.
I think this movie is the perfect example though of like like taste being defined here, because like if I have to think like objectively about this movie, I think it's just dog shit like overall. Like I do like like the critical part of my brain is pulsating like this is off. This is just terrible. But then there's the part of my brain that's just like the monkey clapping the cymbals. That's just like
your 13-year-old boy self.
13-year-old boy self being like, well, that is Veronica Vaughn there. She looks good. Okay, like there is that like good 30-minute section at the start of the movie where it's just you're a little bit like, oh, okay, oh, so are we gonna fight soon? No, okay, we're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep talking. Oh, no, okay, we're keep going. We're gonna keep going. But once the action gets going, it starts to cook. Like there's like a random fight scene like right after they're like spying on Goro and Shang Tsung, or I'm gonna get that wrong, Shang Tsung. And then like they run down the stairs and there's just like a random fight scene. It's like, oh hey, this is an action movie. We needed to sprinkle something in here, like.
Yeah.
And this is beholden to like something like Bloodsport. Like
100%.
It's filmed in Thailand as well, I believe. Like it's and like, it's like the destinations look the same and everything, and like it's a tournaments going on there. There's some intrigue happening, and like, you get some different fighting styles. Not as much variation as like Bloodsport, which has some very weird fighting styles in it. But yeah, so let's just get into the kind of movie itself. Like the basic premise of it is that like, Mortal Kombat is a tournament. It's a martial arts tournament that takes place like every generation of all the different realms, and Earth's one of the realms. Like Earth is its own realm, and so Mortal Kombat takes place like Outworld or something, and like So Outworld has if you win Mortal Kombat 10 times in a row, then you get to take over every other realm. And Outworld has won Mortal Kombat 9 times in a row with its like star champion Goro. And Shang Tsung and an Emperor are the ones who are like really wanting to win this tournament the last time so they can completely take over Earth. And so we get people from Earth, such as Sonya Blade, who's like a special forces agent who is like trying to avenge her former partner who's killed by a cyborg, a guy with a robotic eye named Kano. We get Liu Kang, who's like a Shaolin monk who wants to avenge his brother who's killed by Shang Tsung. And we get a film actor, Johnny Cage. And Johnny Cage, I love Johnny Cage because
his opening is amazing. Like where you have a cameo of a guy that's supposed to be Spielberg. Yeah. Like it's just so.
Oh yeah, that was blatantly Spielberg.
And according to the trivia, like they were trying to get Spielberg because Spielberg was a big Mortal Kombat fan. But that feels like bullshit. You read on IMDb.
That is such a like. We tried to get Spielberg. Yeah,
Spielberg was a video game guy though. Like he apparently was like
Medal of Honor, Call of Duty. Like he was behind a lot of those. Like he's definitely a like low key gamer.
He was hooked on when he was filming Jaws. I think it was either Jaws or Close Encounters. He got hooked on Pac-Man. Like he got addicted to playing Pac-Man.
Is that E.T. then?
It would have been E.T.
Pac-Man's like 80. Yeah. Pac-Man's 81.
Yeah.
No, but
but Jaws has a video game scene in it, like one of those like very janky proto video games, like playing a little arcade.
Oh yeah.
Can I give my props to you for explaining the plot of this movie better than the movie did?
Yeah.
Can I tip my cap here?
Yeah.
Because I had no idea that Goro and whatever the end world or whatever the other world was they had won 9 times, and this was 10, baby, because the movie did not explain that one to me.
They spent that a little bit. Goro was on like a Michael Jordan run in the 90s, essentially. Like, no one could stop him. He's the GOAT.
But then Goro got caught gambling, so they had to like he was took the year off.
He took a
suspended.
year and a half suspension. He went back. He went
to Street Fighter.
He went from fighting to cockfighting. Like he just took a different route altogether.
Yeah, but Raiden, the God of Thunder, he does explain this to our heroes there. So Raiden, played by Christopher Lambert.
Can I say jump scare when I saw it was a white guy?
Yeah,
like, total jump scare when it was. I was just like, what? Like I was like, why is Christopher Lambert here?
And his voice is so funny. He doesn't really do any fighting at all.
It's like
but he
a
just says,
cigarette like smoking thing.
he explains what's going on in Mortal Kombat like this.
The exposition dump.
Yeah.
I know we're jumping around here, but I absolutely love it because they're trying to give Liu Kang some sort of character arc here. It definitely doesn't work, but they're trying, and I respect that. But it is so funny when they're going into the Emperor's castle at the end after Sonya's been kidnapped, and he's like, "Liu Kang, I have nothing else to teach you." It's like, you haven't taught him a single thing this entire movie. You have not given one lesson. You have been an exposition dump the entire movie.
And even the start of the movie, so like at the Shaolin Temple there, because like Liu Kang is apparently like he's been in America. They mentioned that his mind's been rotten by like
American values,
having American values put towards him, and he's at the temple there. And he's like, "I'm gonna go fight Mortal Kombat because like I can get revenge for my brother that Shang Tsung killed," and then like Raiden comes up and he's like, "That can't be the God of Thunder. There's just some beggar on the street there." So it's not even like they had a previous relationship. Like it was just like, if he is his instructor, he's not a good instructor.
Because he says like at one point like, "Oh, you need more than just revenge," and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so like you mentioned the introductions there. So like, Johnny Cage. What I love was the idea of the character is that the tabloids don't think he does his own stunts, so he gets very mad. So he decides to become the ultimate martial arts fighter by joining a otherworldly tournament fight to the death.
Yeah, of all things, just casually,
which is the obvious next step for Tom Cruise, right? Like,
yeah, that's where it's going. Apparently, there's a rumor that Tom Cruise tried to visit the set of this movie and like was like not allowed by like the security person because he was in Thailand or something. Yeah. Like, no, Tom Cruise, sorry, you can't visit our set of Mortal Kombat. Yeah. This is too sacred for you.
They apparently were considering Tom Cruise for Johnny Cage.
Of course they were. Yeah, and I was
good luck getting Tom Cruise in that.
It's like considering like I'm considering dating Sydney Sweeney or some shit.
Yeah,
like, good luck.
I am also I am also considering dating Sydney Sweeney. I always say this: a great movie star's greatest power is their ability to select scripts. Like if you look at all the great movie stars, especially like the more recent ones, like your Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Leo,
recent
very very few misses comparative, and even like the misses there. Except for The Mummy. We're just going to make an exception. They gave Tom Cruise so much money that it would have been irresponsible to say no. But if you look at like their IMDb pages, like the bad stuff is just okay.
Yeah.
And then the great stuff is like otherworldly. So there's a zero. They could have given Tom Cruise control of New Line Cinema, and I don't think he accepts this movie.
And there's no actor in this movie who's a star.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give Bridget Wilson some credit here. She had Mortal 95. She had Mortal Kombat, Billy Madison, and then she was in Nixon, which is like the most Academy Award 90s bullshit movie ever. I tried watching Nixon. It's a tough watch, and she had a little run there, and then she married Pete Sampras and retired from acting.
Yeah, might as well, yeah. But also, I do want to shout out Goro, who's voiced by Michael Richardson, who's like a king of voice acting. He's in like fucking everything. He's like the principal in American Dad. So like seeing him pop up as Goro, I was like, oh, I know that voice.
And so like all these characters are like getting onto a boat to go to Shang Tsung's island, and at the docks there. What I love about these docks here, there's basically I don't know. It seems like it's like a dock that has boats, but also there's a lot of welding happening in the background. There's like a lot of sparks going up in the air. And Johnny Cage is racist, so he assumes that Liu Kang is like a bus boy. He's like, hey, like I'll give you like a $20 to like bring my bags onto the boat. And I love how like
you have the eyes. Take my bags.
Yeah. I do want to mention before we go past it, Bridget Wilson's introduction is like straight out the Matrix, where she's in some like weird like fucking new metal nightclub, just trying to track Kano down.
I love that in 90s movies when they go to like nightclubs in the 90s and it's just like
the craziest shit
metal
ever.
And it's just like metalheads with like punk haircuts just like bobbing up and down. I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
If there's one positive thing I could say about this movie, it's the set design is just so much fun.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's like
And-
the best part.
It's like a lost art today, because the new Mortal Kombat's coming out. I have actually recently watched Mortal Kombat 2021 also, which I think is surprising, but I was with a friend and he was like, I told him I hadn't seen it and he was like insistent it was it was the greatest movie of all time.
It is such a bro movie.
It is such a bro movie.
Bro, you haven't seen Mortal Kombat?
I fell
like
asleep.
it.
I fell asleep during part of it. I won't lie, but it was during the talking parts. To be fair, they were talking a lot.
The problem with that movie is that the main character is like an original character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It should be
Boring.
Liu King or something. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Really
also,
just
like-
self-insert.
And also, like, the movie is just all about, like, all right, like, we're going to get to Mortal Kombat, but they don't actually get to the tournament yet. It's just them, everything, all the fighting's happening before the tournament. So I think the sequel, which comes out, like, it'll be out for a few days by the time this episode comes out. It comes out this weekend. I think this one's going to be the one that's actually at the tournament. And I'm looking forward to it. Like, I am really excited about this movie.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's what I expected. I remember the first one came out like during that like HBO Max like same day release theaters in that home, and my friends and I were like, okay, I had like 3 of my friends come over, and we bought like a fucking like 12 or 16 pack of like beer, and we're like, okay, let's just like fucking crush this and watch this movie. And it was really fun within that environment. But if I was dead sober, I'd been like by myself, like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Actually, I remember, so I was in Nashville, like I live in Nashville now, but I was in New York at the time visiting Nashville. We were gone out Friday. It's like Saturday morning, we're all super hungover on the couch. It's like, let's put on the new Mortal Kombat. I'm like, all right, cool. And I think I passed out 10 minutes in, and then I slept through the entire thing because I was out until 4 a.m. the night before.
It does also feel like a movie you watch while hungover. We're like, this is some stupid bullshit.
Too much energy for that. But can we talk about the CG in this movie
Yeah.
and
So
the
one thing,
reliance on it?
One thing Paul Anderson, as he's calling this movie, Paul W.S. Anderson's like, he did not know anything about visual effects at this point in time, but he was able to bullshit his way, like, yeah, I can probably do it. And apparently he's like read like every book there was about doing visual effects and just like winged it.
Well, I love how Reptile looks like Gex the Gecko.
Oh my god,
64 game.
It's the worst CGI when we get to
Reptile is unbelievable in this because I'm just like, but he wears a green suit, and then I'm like watching the movie and he like shows up occasionally, and it's just like this weird CG lizard, and then he actually does show up, and I'm like, okay, okay, this tomb turns you into a person, okay.
We meet Reptile pretty quick, so like they're on the boat there, so they get to that's where they where Raiden gives them the rundown what this all is, and they run to Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They do a little fight here and there because like their souls are owned by Shang Tsung, so they're not like their own people quite. So basically just minions for like there's sometimes Scorpion's a hero, sometimes he's a villain, sometimes Sub-Zero's a hero, sometimes he's a villain. This one they're basically just like henchmen, and then so they get to Shang Tsung's island, which is so they get there, and like on the island itself, which again we mentioned this design there too. There's some really cool just like designs for like, you know, what these temples look like and such, and like you don't really get movies that look like this anymore, for better and for worse.
Yeah. I would say, but like there's like this beautiful matte painting when they're like Johnny Cage has his like 8 bags or whatever that he's like carrying up the stairs, and like it's just this beautiful matte painting, and we're watching like the miniature bag sliding down it, and I'm like, that's cute. Like I like that. Like that's just
real
such a nice little...
of like. It's a real case of we don't know what we had, bro. Like how much better it looks compared to like the newer movie when like that was all CG sets and it doesn't feel lived in, doesn't feel real. Whereas this, like when jumping around, but when we had the Scorpion versus Johnny Cage fight, that was the coolest fucking set I've seen in the movie in a while.
Oh, it looks so awesome.
Just like a bone like ladder temple.
Yeah, and there's just like so many like skeletons everywhere.
Yeah,
and. So like at this island here, they're like an atrium or something like that, and they see like a Katana, who is like played by Talisa Soto. She was the one of the Bond girls in License to Kill.
She's a retired actress and model. That checks out.
Yeah. And also the guy who played Shang Tsung, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, he was also in License to Kill as well.
Fun Bond movie.
I like the movie a lot.
Yeah.
A great Benicio del Toro performance.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Early Benicio, too.
Very early Benicio. Great death. He has a great death in that movie. But like as like Katana's kind of just like, you know, under an umbrella, like, almost like sunbathing almost like there's a statue of a reptile there, and then we see the reptile, like the statue, like Shang Tsung is like, you know, reptile, make sure she doesn't get up to no good, and the statue turns from like a stone reptile into the like Gex the Gecko, as he said. It's the worst CGI of the movie by far, and probably some of the worst. It's like Lawnmower Man level bad CGI.
Yeah.
And so like basically Katana's whole deal is like she's like the outward, you never hear the outward emperor's name, but it's Shao Kahn, who in the later games like one of the big villains. She's the like adopted daughter because like he killed her whole family. It's kind of like a Thanos and Gamora thing. But she decides to help the Earth Warriors, and she has the hots for like Liu Kang kind of thing, sort of.
She just wants to help out.
Yeah, she wants to help out. And
I like how this movie's like undertone is like there was clearly an R-rated version of this script and probably an R-rated cut of this movie that is exceedingly more horny and violent than the version that we got. Like all the undertones are there for this movie to like take a very drastic horny turn, and it like you can see the remnants of it there, but it just doesn't go there.
It's like if you're gonna have schlock, just go full force.
Yeah. Well, but that's the problem. It's like you have this big IP, you paid a lot of money to like turn it into a movie. You need to cast as big of a net as you possibly can to get people to come in to see it.
And the average Mortal Kombat audience was probably like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds at that point.
Yeah. And there's a scene where Kano is like at a table with like, the biggest buffet of food possible, and he's like shooting the shit with the villains. So like Shang Tsung's there and like Goro's there. So you see Goro. So if you don't really know what Goro is, like we probably sound psychotic talking about these characters in Mortal Kombat if you don't know what Mortal Kombat
is.
He's
Machamp. He's Machamp.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
He's Machamp from Pokemon.
4 arms. Yeah,
4 arms. Yeah. It's like Machamp, but turned bad, turned evil.
Yeah, and he's an animatronic in this movie, and apparently the puppeteers they could only operate for like 20 minutes at a time, or else it would run out of oxygen.
That's amazing. To be honest, I wasn't sure at first if it was claymation or not, because his face feels like it's claymation almost when it's like talking.
It looks. I think it's just lit very poor. It looks very janky. But
yeah.
I appreciate it's like a animatronic of some sort. And
well, I don't know.
I
if you guys
appreciate
watched
they didn't try to do it pure VFX. Like, given the other ones, it would have been like, oh my god,
it looked terrible.
Although
I don't know if you guys watched it in HD or anything, because I watched like an old DVD rip. That was the DVD I rented from the video store, where it made it look like almost like a 1990s sci-fi show. Like,
it does. It looks like a Sci-Fi Channel original. Like half
but I watched it on 100%. I watched it on HBO Max, and it was like so it's in HD, and it's like it's janky, but it has a. I feel like it's the we didn't know what we had until we lost it. Kind of the thing where it's just like going back and watching it, you're just like, that's so quaint and cute that they did that.
Like, there's no way they would have a Goro now be animatronic.
It'd be all CG. It would be like by motion capture. Or whatever.
Somewhere in some warehouse somewhere, that animatronic Goro exists still, and to me, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's the Five Nights at Freddy's sequel. It's a crossover Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
to me, that's beautiful. I don't know how else to tell you. But I love how like for me, where this movie was really losing me was like
at the beginning,
the scene with Raiden going into the island, into the dinner scene with Kane, Goro, and Shang Tsung was just like exposition. I was just like,
and it's not exciting exposition because like Kane was just talking about how like Sonya blades after him and stuff, and like he was I don't know, and
this is bad case of tell instead of show.
Yeah, and then like so basically at this point like they just each get into their own little fights there. So like we have like what was it? Sonya gets into her own little fight with Kano on a beach, and this is actually the last scene they shot of the movie because you mentioned that she was in Billy Madison, so she was it was Billy Madison. Billy Madison. So like she did all her fight training a little bit too late, so they filmed this part late at the very end, so she can actually get all the proper training done. And I do think
from what I heard was she was supposed to be Cameron Diaz, and Cameron Diaz like broke her wrist or something. From what I heard. And then Bridget Wilson was like originally like passed over as the role of Sonya. And then all of a sudden, like, shit, Kim just broke her wrist. Let's get Bridget Wilson in. She's like, well, I'm in the middle of filming Billy Madison, so I had to wait for Billy Madison to be over, and then they could film her scenes.
And I think she's fine in this movie. Like, I think, like, as good as you can be in Mortal Kombat 1995, I think she's good.
Nobody is really a standout except for Christopher Lambert, and maybe not for the reasons that he would want.
No.
Maybe not for the reasons that he would want. I mean, I loved that performance. It was campy as shit.
He's having fun.
That's how I felt about the guy who played Shang Tsung, Kerry Tagaoya, to the point that he played that character in the video games later on.
Yeah.
and he's like, he's true to the series. When he says flawless victory, again, I'm just like, this is the best thing ever. 5 stars.
Yeah. And so, like, when Sonya and Kano are fighting on the beach, I do think the fight choreography is actually really well done. I think Paul W.S. Anderson is actually really good at showcasing action scenes. I think he's really good. That's a talent he does have. And I think that, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is a sequel to this movie, which has, like, only some of the cast in it, it's abysmal. The fights look awful. They can't stage anything properly. But this fight's pretty good. And, like, at one point, like, Sonya Blade, like, snaps Kano's neck between her legs, which is kind of hot. And, but I just really feel like that, like, satisfying because, like, this is the person she's getting all her revenge against, and like it's basically almost just like off screen, almost the way he dies. Like
it happens at like the 45-minute mark in the movie.
Yeah,
and then she has nothing else to do in the rest of the movie,
except for watch the fake Jax die.
But I mean, it also works where it's like she was in the middle of filming another movie while this one was going on, got the call, and then they had to just kind of like rush to throw her because like she's like almost the protagonist. Like, even though it's set up for Liu Kang, like, she's, like, the driving force of, like, the first 20 minutes of the movie, I would say.
Yeah. And then we also get a really great fight, which is probably the best fight sequence in the movie, where Johnny Cage is, like, running through the woods, and Scorpion's after him.
I love how out of left field that was I was literally like, did I just miss something? Why did this all of a sudden become, like, a home movie? Like,
zero setup.
Zero setup.
And Scorpion's like launching like CGI snakes from his like palms. That like
not lore accurate. Not lore accurate.
Not at all.
It looks a little shitty, but it's like the kind of thing where you're watching this type of movie where like you can forgive the shitty CGI because it's like I know what movie I'm watching. Like I'm not looking for photorealistic CGI in my Mortal Kombat movie.
No, especially looking back at it too, where it's kind of just like there's some charm to the cruddy CGI. Like,
I could see though, like at the time where, especially like you're just coming off of like Jurassic Park 2 years ago, like, like there clearly had been advancements in the field, and then you're going to give $6.50 or whatever it is to go like pay and watch this movie and not do a podcast on it because you're like it'll be funny to talk about. You're like, oh, I love Mortal Kombat, and then you see that you're just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like I can understand the criticism of it.
But, like, it's well conceptualized. Like, you can see it with better CGI. Scenes make sense where, like, he's kind of, like, the snake thing is kind of chasing him through the air. Like, he's able to, like, wrap around trees and stuff. And, like, there's parts where it's, like, you can see, like, the trees almost breaking as the snake's trying to escape that, too. Like, trees are getting hit by the snake and breaking. And, like, it's an interesting, well-done scene. And then, like, they just end up at this giant skeleton hell room, which is awesome. Which is just, like, a lot of wood scaffolding.
Master of set design. Like, it's the coolest, like I said, the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in a while in a movie.
It's the best scene in the movie. It elevates this movie from like a 1-star to a 2-star movie, if that makes sense. Like it's like, oh, okay.
I disagree because it elevates the movie from a 3-star to a 3.5 star to me.
Okay. Okay.
Well, exactly. You see it though, and you're like, it feels so lived in, and like you realize like how much like craft went into making that for a movie like this, where like nowadays like they wouldn't put any effort into
it'd be a green screen.
Yeah, and it just looks so cool and it looks awesome. It really adds atmosphere to this movie. That's one thing that Paul W.S. Anderson adds to us. I'm tempted to say PTA, but it's like, no, it's wrong, Paul Anderson.
Yeah. I would have loved if PTA made a crack at a Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, incredible.
A Mortal Kombat movie with social commentary.
Yeah. You get the cast of Boogie Nights, but just fit them into Mortal Kombat characters. Like, have like Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg could play a good Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
I can see that.
You got like Heather Graham as Sonya Blade, like Burt Reynolds
There, yeah.
as
Raiden.
Raiden. Yeah,
Burt Reynolds. Like now that you say it, like Christopher Lambert was like perfect for what that role was. Like I know that, but imagine just watching Burt Reynolds not give a shit.
yeah,
He's the only thing he likes is the hat. He's like, I'm going to keep this hat.
yeah.
He's like, you're not getting this
Norman
hat back, costume designer, but just like Burt Reynolds there, just like brandoing it on the set of Apocalypse Now, like somebody like walking with like the dialogue like on a poster board, just being like, read this.
And, where my check is here, and this is my bank account.
Delaying production to get overtime, just like Brando.
Yeah.
Like just like we were robbed of something magnificently awful. Like I think that's what's interesting. This movie, I think the biggest sin for me this movie commits is that there's just a very long stretch where it's very boring.
There's some dead air, yeah.
There's like too much. And I think this will happen with I even like the Mortal Kombat 2021, which like visually is superior, like all that's minus like the set design, but just like it nailed like the fight choreographing, like the CG's up to date, all that stuff. But like in this kind of movie, just John Wick it, like get me set up.
I don't need
get
talking
me
in my Mortal Kombat movie.
get me rolling. Like just have Shang Tsung just saying fatality over and over again, and just bring in the next guy for the fight. Like that's all I need.
Well, Tim, it's like I told you last night. I love this story. It's the dumbest thing ever. That Trump loves Bloodsport, and he was instruct his sons to fast forward to strictly just the fight scenes. He's like, I don't need to see the other shit.
I'm just picturing Donald Trump Jr. just like being like
on the VCR.
Yes, Papa. Okay, Papa. Like fast forwarding Bloodsport on VHS.
Apparently, it was Eric that was sent to do the fast forward.
It was definitely Eric.
Yeah.
Donald, you are the superior son. You sit next to me. Eric, you sit by the VHS. Okay.
And honestly, he has the right idea. If you watch Bloodsport just for the fight scenes and none of like the journalism angle, that's a 5-star movie.
Oh yeah. It's the most relatable thing he's ever done in his life.
Yeah.
only thing I can agree with him on.
Hey, that and him Uber Eatsing McDonald's to the White House. The only two relatable things that guy's ever done in his life.
Wait, no, you guys haven't personally blockaded the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, no.
I found that very relatable.
It's so relatable.
Twice. I've done it twice, but
Yeah.
we don't talk about it.
We mentioned like how much fun like Burt Reynolds will be in the role of like Raiden, and like how Christopher Lambert's fun in the role of Raiden. In this sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Raiden's played by James Remar.
Really?
And he's terrible.
Oh, I can see that too. Because
Yeah.
didn't he have like alcohol problems for a while? I could see him just being drunk out of his. He's probably drunk out of his mind on the set of Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Mm-hmm. And like
He's like the career's at Mortal Kombat Annihilation point.
Yeah.
Brian, when we had you on for our podcast and we were talking about Miami Vice, and Colin Farrell said, I don't remember most of that movie. That was probably James Remar, too.
He's like, I was in this. I was in this.
Except like Colin Farrell's in a Michael Mann movie that people have like a soft spot for, and James Remar's in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is truly one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
You're almost selling me on it, except for the fact I know there's an hour of that movie that is just dead air. And just awful. Like
the first scene of that movie takes place immediately after this one does, and like has the worst dialogue you'll ever hear in a movie. It's also worth watching.
This movie had. Can I also just say this movie had some just awful acting. Like I'm not even talking about Christopher Lambert, the guy who played Jax, when he's like, "No, wait, Sonya, don't go."
Fake Jax.
Fake. No. I'm talking about actual Jax.
Real
like
Jax.
when she's running to the boat, and he's like, "No." Which, first of all, how did she get on that boat? That boat was pulling out of the harbor, and she was just running into fog, and then she's on the boat. But I digress. I'm not here to. But he's just like, and then there was when Raiden first appears, and Liu Kang just like, what are you, a beggar? Some of the delivery of these lines were just like horribly hokey in a way that only works watching Mortal Kombat 31 years later. That line doesn't work in a movie theater, but certainly does work at home.
And a lot of the lines were ad-libbed too. Like apparently the actors had the ability to just come up with some of their own dialogue too. And I think it's because maybe his movie's a little bit rushed. So like, the sunglasses line, that one was ad-libbed.
Yeah.
Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole.
Yeah.
If you're watching this at home and you're wondering why I wore sunglasses the entire time, it's because of Johnny Cage.
It's an audio-only podcast.
But
well,
you can hear the sunglasses. You can hear the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
The acoustically tuned people are like, oh, there's sunglasses in that room right there from Tim's angle.
Exactly.
What was that?
Like Matt Murdock, Daredevil, could probably figure out if you're wearing sunglasses in audio podcast.
Probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He feels the aura.
Yeah.
Mano sunglasses.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's Johnny Cage and Scorpion fight, which is really fucking awesome. At one point, Scorpion rips off his own face to show the skeleton head, which is really cool. And then like Johnny Cage like finds a shield that's like serrated like a saw. So I think it's supposed to be a Kung Lao's hat from Mortal Kombat 2, and like he uses that to slice open Scorpion. He turns into flames and explodes in a really cheesy explosion.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
No notes.
Yeah, and then the other fight scene that's happening around this point in time too is Liu Kang gets in a fight with Sub-Zero, and it's a pretty decent. It's a good, again, like I like how these fights are choreographed, and
I thought it was such a letdown after, because like Scorpion and Sub-Zero are Mortal Kombat, like they are the face of that franchise, and like the Scorpion fight is like yes, and then the Sub-Zero one just kind of ends.
Well, because Katana gives him like the advice of like use the element of life to defeat Sub-Zero. And then Dre's like, element of life, huh? So he takes like a bucket of water and throws it towards Sub-Zero, and that bucket of water turns into an icicle that like stabs Sub-Zero. And Sub-Zero's like,
my one weakness, the one thing I can freeze.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all. And Sub-Zero just kind of like, freezes up and then kind of like, breaks apart and dies, which is not exciting at all. But then we get to the fight between fake Jax, the character's name is Art Lean. So Art Lean, he's into a fight with Prince Goro, and this guy's dead meat. This guy has no idea, like...
immediately the second he steps in, he's dead.
But also,
I thought it was Jax.
Yeah, I thought it was Jax.
As much of a red shirt as possible.
When I watched it, because like at one point, like Goro has his like arms, like he's grabbing on him, like he's gonna rip off Jax's arms, and then he hit the robot.
It was almost
arms.
like in Hot Tub Time Machine when they keep on waiting for Crispin Glover's arms to be ripped off. That's what I was waiting for that whole fight. I was like, when is that coming off? When are those arms coming off of Jax?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, it's not Jax. What?
It's so clumsy, yeah. But then Goro Goro defeats him, and Shang Tsung steals Art's soul, of course.
Yeah.
And then Johnny gets into a fight of his own with Goro, and like it's a pretty weak fight considering the fact that it's Johnny Cage fighting an animatronic, and basically just Goro like slips off a ledge into like a bottomless pit.
They ran out of the effects budget, and they're like, just push him off.
Yeah,
it was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
But the best part of that is like after the fight, there's like a photo of Johnny Cage that lands on the ground. It's like from your biggest fan, like autographed.
He always has on.
Yeah, which is like what I love with Johnny Cage fatalities, especially in the later game. It's always the very like pop culture things of like him like snapping photos and ripping like fans' heads off and stuff, and like photographing himself, taking selfies.
Best. It's what you want.
And so now at this point, because like oh shit, like, these Earth fighters are actually pretty good. This is where Shang Tsung kidnaps Sonya Blade and brings her to Outworld. And so then Katana and Liu Kang and Johnny Cage, like they go to Outworld themselves. And I missed this is where Liu Kang has the fight with Reptile. Where like it's just like an invisible reptile like kind of running around a room. And he turns into his like ninja form, and I forget how he kills him, but it's not very exciting.
I will say though, like if we were going to cut anything out of the movie, that was the part of the movie that you could have cut out if we're going to be so real.
But you got great EDM, and the reptile theme is a banger. Like you can't deny that.
Yeah. And I think they just wanted to use like every single fighter from the first game.
Yeah.
And then I think Reptile's like a bonus fighter in that game. So like they did get the entire roster in there. So
it's funny with the Mortal Kombat like franchise how like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Reptile were all just like, we need more fighters. How about we just do like a color swap? And that was like the extent of it. That was like the thought process.
You also had limited space on these cartridges and machines back then, so it was literally like, how can we reuse assets that we have and add another fighter? Like that's the mindset of game development. Also, breaking news here for Mortal Kombat. We were talking about Burt Reynolds as Lord Raiden. According to Wikipedia, Sean Connery was offered the role, but turned it down.
Ah.
Can you imagine?
Imagine him just not giving a
He probably would have retired 10 years earlier.
Yeah.
That would have been it. We're not getting a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, okay? That's it.
There would have been The Rock. He would have been like, I'm done. Fuck this.
Yeah. Man, that would have been something.
That would have been something.
Yeah, so now, because they want to go after, get Sonya Blade back from Outworld, so Katana leads Johnny and Liu Kang to Outworld, and she says, like, oh, like, it's like a kind of like desolate, kind of like fortress ruin kind of thing with, like, you know, flaming skeletons and stuff, and she's like, this used to be a beautiful place until, like, Shang Tsung took it over, and the Emperor took it over, and, like, killed everyone. Now it's a hellscape, and, yeah, so then, you know, Katana helps them get to the fortress, and yeah, so apparently Shang Tsung is like, you know, he's trying to like betray the Emperor or something like that, but like I don't know, it doesn't really matter at all. And this is where Shang Tsung and Liu Kang fight, and at one point in the fight, like Shang Tsung like turns into like because he's a shapeshifter, that's how he gets around, that's how he tricks people. He tries to pretend to be Liu Kang's brother, and Liu Kang falls for like a fucking idiot. For a little bit.
It's so dumb. I do also love how, like, you were expecting some action scene of him to, like, leap up the stairs, but instead he slowly walks up the stairs. Just, like,
yeah.
Around.
Yeah, where's the wire? Also, you skipped over Sonya getting a costume change where, like, she's wearing, like, black military gear the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden she's in, like, her hair is, like, blown out and she's, like, in, like, a poodle skirt, like, little sexy outfit. Just, like... Yeah, well, it's a 90s movie. We got to turn her sexy, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad they turned her into a bit of a damsel because she is kind of like a, you know, interesting character as far as interesting characters can go in this kind of movie. But no, I think it's a cool looking outfit myself. But
I that wasn't a complaint. I just we just passed over a big costume change in a movie that has very few.
It is almost like a Marion and Raiders of the Lost Ark, where you're pretty much, you know, you're demeaning her by turning into like a really, like, you know, feminized outfit and everything, something she wouldn't normally wear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But this is also me trying to read too much into the Mortal Kombat film directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
They were also making the movie for 12-year-old boys, and we're like, what if the hot girl in the movie got a little hotter?
Yeah, and like,
and they did it.
These games.
By golly, they did it.
These games get so fucked, especially Mortal Kombat 11. That's where it peaked with the character designs, where like every female character has the biggest rack possible.
Nice.
And like,
it's almost like Dead or Alive level.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, doesn't have the jiggle effects of Dead or Alive. But have you guys seen the Dead or Alive movie?
Is it with what's her name from?
No idea.
My Name is Earl. Jamie Presley.
Jamie Presley, Devin Aoki. I forget who else is in it. It's atrocious.
I heard it looked like shit.
Is it like weirdly horny or just atrocious?
It's atrocious and just overly sexualized. It's not that actually like, you know.
So it's got like American Pie band camp vibes to it.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's not like, you know, people are like lusting for one another. I think guys just make some sexist comments. I think it's made in something like 2003, so like peak the man show era.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like
very
this,
exploitative.
Yeah, so like Liu Kang and like Shang Tsung, their fight, like they're above like a giant spike pit that has the Mortal Kombat logo on it, which is like the dragon logo. And so the fight happens, and after like he tricks him, like thinking he's his brother, it's like Liu Kang kind of grows. I was like, oh, like I've moved on beyond that, and like basically kicks Shang Tsung into the pit, lands on a giant spike, and then he turns into a skeleton.
As one does.
As you do.
Yeah.
And that frees up all the souls that Shang Tsung has captured over the decades or millennium or however long he's been capturing souls. But Liu Kang's brother said, like, you know, you can go in peace now because, you know, I'm free now. My soul is free now. So Liu Kang's happy. Everyone's happy now. They go back to Earth Realm, all the Earth Warriors, and you know, they're all happy. I love how Sonya Blade still is like all this outfit there with her big blowout hair and just like, you know, like almost like a ditzy kind of like, you know, 80s kind of like, yeah, we did it, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the kids running around too, just like, yay.
because they're all like the Shaolin Temple, and like everyone in the Shaolin Temple at the start of the movie is like wearing like all the proper monk robes, but this one has like like tourists hanging around or something. Like
just for random reason.
It's an ending. You got to make an ending.
Yeah, and yeah. So it all stops because the Emperor shows up, and they don't name him in this movie, but it is Shao Kahn, and he's here for everyone's souls now, and all our heroes get into their own fighting stances, and they're ready to defeat the Emperor this time around. Cut to the credits, and the Mortal Kombat theme starts playing again for the third time in the movie. The movie yells its title at you.
Isn't it the fourth time?
I think it's third or fourth time, yeah.
It's the fourth time because it's the opening credits. It's the fight it's just the fight against the random guys, then the fight against Shang Tsung, and then the first phase of that fight.
Yeah.
And then the credits.
If you're doing a drinking game to this movie, this would be a great drinking game movie also.
Oh, yeah.
Just take a drink every time someone screams out Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Just like that alone.
I had that song as the alarm on my phone for a while. So like I
that'll
wake
wake
up
you, that'll wake you up in the morning.
And you're like, oh.
It just yells Mortal Kombat at me and just keeps going. And like I always with my phone in my room, like my charger's away from me, so like I can never hit the snooze button. So I actually had to get up and like grab my phone and turn off the Mortal Kombat theme.
Mortal Kombat.
It's such a good theme song. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
I'm so glad they use it a lot in this movie because like it gets a lot of mileage because it's a great song and like
it's iconic.
Yeah. And I think overall this movie does use the Mortal Kombat IP incredibly well. It's not like the Mario movie where like the 93 Mario movie where like they're allowed to be as loose as possible. So like I think like when it comes to like actually being like other than the fact there's no blood or fatalities, it captures the spirit of the games. Like the characters act like the characters they're supposed to. It's as cheesy as the games are. The sets look like a lot of the arenas where they're fighting and stuff like that. Those look like parts from the game where you can actually have like a stage where you can do a fight on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about how like this was made by New Line Cinema, and New Line Cinema to this point was known as like the house that Frey built, and like how they were kind of like a schlock studio for a bit, where like they had like your like
until Pulp Fiction, pretty much.
Yeah. Until that and like Austin Powers, where they started getting around, and Mortal Kombat fits right within that. Where like you could easily see that set for where Johnny Cage and Scorpion fought when it was like a leftover from a Nightmare on Elm Street movie or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, I don't know, it should just do some New Line Cinema crossovers. Like, what if Austin Powers were to fight, Liu Kang in the ring? Like, what would Austin Powers' fatality be?
Be amazing. Well, I always said that what Mortal Kombat should do next is like they've had so many special characters. Just make a full fighting game that's just like all your special characters. Like have Freddy Krueger, Rambo, RoboCop, and like the Terminator in one game, and like. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like the fucking Action Boys server would probably be the only game we ever play again.
Yeah,
but it'd be amazing. It'd be incredible.
Yeah, have Gwildor and the Cosmic Key as a fatality.
Yeah, exactly. Have Lawnmower Man be a fucking special move.
Oh man, yeah, like
crushing the T-100 skull in with the red eye coming out with the smoke.
But like, yeah, because they have like all these like they have like maybe like 4 or 5, especially the era of where we can have DLC in video games like. They always have like 4 or 5 guest characters that from different IPs and such. It'd be fun just to throw them all into the exact same game and like the guest character is like Sub-Zero instead or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like have a Scorpion as like the token Mortal Kombat character.
Did you ever play the Injustice video games?
Oh, those are fucking awesome.
I played it on my phone. Games.
Yeah,
and
they have like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus fucking Batman, character. And it's like, let's go, fuck yeah, it's everything I need. Just make your fighting video games what like 5-year-old me would have wanted to see.
I like how they just learned from Super Smash Brothers, like all the other fighting games. It's just like, why don't we just put in the paint that people want to see into our fighting game? Yeah. Like that's all they need.
Yeah, like Smash Bros. I love Smash Bros. So much. Also, it's just like all my favorite dudes just duking it out.
Tommy and I are bonded forever because of Super Smash Bros.
Which one do you guys bond over? All of them?
All of them. I mean, essentially.
All of them.
We have a friend group where we go to our friend's basement and just like get extremely drunk and play Smash Bros. All night.
Oh, that's incredible.
It's like the extent of it. Yeah,
that's so
it's amazing.
Awesome.
It's the best.
Yeah, like I remember like as a kid like renting like Smash Bros 64 and stuff, and then once the GameCube came out, like we would go to Blockbuster, rent a GameCube, and rent Smash Bros. And play that like all weekend before like one of us actually got a GameCube and Smash Bros. To like play forever.
I forgot you could rent a console at Blockbuster.
Yeah, they did it for like it was like I only ever rented a GameCube, I believe, because I had an N64 for sure. I got a GameCube eventually, but like, yeah, I remember you can never like I think you could at least rent consoles of that era. I'm not sure if you could ever like rent like a Wii or an Xbox 360 or anything.
I feel like that's
I think by that era
that's past. That was when Netflix was here.
In, yeah.
Blockbuster was whatever.
If Netflix gave me the option, I can rent a console from them, I would never return the console.
Oh yeah, exactly.
No.
That'd be a terrible business model. Yeah. No one would return it.
No, but I just recently rewatched the opening to Super Smash Brothers Melee, and I was like, "Wow, we didn't know how good we didn't know how good we had." No, that was when I paused the menu. Peach, little skirt look up. The old reliable. Whoa, hey, now I didn't know you could do that.
We were all 12-year-old boys with video game consoles at one point.
Yeah.
We all have that in our it's in our DNA. It's hardwired into our DNA.
Yeah. And like that's kind of the fun thing with the Mortal Kombat movies. It does kind of remind you of like what it was like to be 12 years old and like watching movies or playing a game.
Well, I can imagine like if like I had this movie come out like on my like birthday party or something like that when I was 12 years old, and like I had all my friends go. We just had like pizza beforehand, and we're hopped up on Mountain Dew, and we go see Mortal Kombat in theaters. I'd be like, "This is the greatest movie ever." Like nothing better.
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
And I kind of think it's a smart thing to make this movie PG-13 then, because like if this movie's rated R, like every adult who's watching this movie, especially because there's no R-rated video game movies at the point in time too, like no adult's going to like this movie in 1995. Like,
no.
This is a movie for like preteen boys.
It's a time capsule, and it's like the perfect embodiment of like, do you want to know what a video game movie in the 90s was like? Just watch Mortal Kombat, and you kind of get the gist of all of them, but they just did it the best out of all of these.
Well, it's weird to think about that. Like, video games is such a new like medium where like basically at this point when Mortal Kombat came out, video games like as a popular medium was only like 15 years old, really, maybe 20,
10, maybe even like home console.
Yeah. Home console, with the NES and stuff.
Yeah, that was only like NES was like mid '80s, like it was
86 in the States. So like it's brand spanking new idea.
And they're still trying to crack how to adapt a video game into a movie. Like it took they're still trying to figure it out. Frankly, like like there's people are not watching the Mario movie and thinking like, hey, like this is exactly like the video game. Like people are complaining, like, oh, it's not like Mario Galaxy at all. Like people are still complaining about how these movies are not like the games at all. But yeah, it's I find especially now because we are now in an era where they are trying to make so many video games into movies and TV shows. I find these older relics to be absolutely fascinating.
It's a great like little timepiece to see like this is what we had it, and like we're not at a point where like I just looked up on Rotten Tomatoes the highest rated video game movie, and it was Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It had like 86%, which like is respectable, but it's still not like we haven't had one that like Dark Knight. Heath Ledger won an Oscar for playing the Joker.
Yeah.
Like when is someone gonna win an Oscar for playing fucking like Zangief in Street Fighter?
Yeah,
or some shit.
Hey, like who's playing Zangief in the new They're making a Street Fighter movie this year.
Oh, I'm seated.
I'm watching it 100% for sure too. I like that Jean-Claude Van Damme one is fascinating because like it's not very good.
I haven't seen it all the way through, but I remember one time I was at my friend's house. I crashed on his couch, and then I woke up at like 3 a.m. to HBO on, and it was like midway through the Street Fighter movie, and I was like, "What the fuck am I watching right now?" It's incredible. Because it's a great fever dream.
There's not much street fighting. It's more of like there's like Raul Julia plays M. Bison, who's like running a dictatorship, and they're basically trying to overthrow the dictatorship. But Raul Julia, he's like dying of cancer in real life at the point in time, and and like he is giving it all in this movie. It is such a fun performance, and like knowing that
his monologue of like where it's like, oh, for you, like the day that Bison visited your village was like the worst day of your life. For me, it was a Tuesday. That goes so fucking hard.
It's such a good line. It's such a good line. It's such a good read too. Yeah, like, and yeah, like these, I like these little time capsules of these old video game movies, and just when they don't really know how to fully crack them, it's kind of like early sound movies or early color movies where it's just kind of like it's a fledgling new medium, fledgling new way to adapt a story, and and to this day, they're still trying to figure it out. Like, yeah, again, like if Zangief wins an Oscar, I'm just gonna look up right now who's playing Zangief in the new movie.
It's Oliver Richter's, and he's like a bodybuilder. So he was in Black Widow.
Okay, so if he wins the Oscar this year, then
we called it here first.
We call it here first. Yeah, I'm gonna put $5 on it right now. I'm gonna go to FanDuel right now. Promo code MoviePod.
Exactly.
But yeah, so like the Mortal Kombat movie, like it actually made money, which these movies were not. Like the Mario movie made no money. Actually, the only live action super movies, video game movies at the point in time were like it was like Mario. They made a Double Dragon movie, Street Fighter, than this. But this one, like it cost $20 million to make, and it made $122 million back. So like this movie made a good chunk of change. The sequel did not, and it's hard to tell with that one, the reboot from 2021, because like that was a weird time where like theaters were back, but COVID was still. I wasn't going to theaters because of COVID, and they're also like releasing it at home too.
Sorry, I was going to say you can't judge a simultaneous release of home and theatrical when your audience has been conditioned for a year to watch everything at home.
Exactly.
Well, Tim, remember like you and I like at our friend's place we played Smash Bros. At like Godzilla versus Kong came out at the time.
Yeah, we just watched that.
Day. We watched that, and like we might have fast forwarded just to Godzilla and Kong fighting. That might have
no,
happened.
we I don't think we did.
I think we watched the whole movie, but I think that's something I would do with that movie. Where I'm like,
if somebody was ever like, let's watch Godzilla versus Kong, when people are talking, I'd be like, okay, let's
go past this. I need to see the monkey and the lizard fight. Come on.
I don't need anything else. Okay, let's pick up the pace here a little bit.
But like, yeah, so like the cinema score for this movie is pretty good. So people actually kind of liked it coming out of like the general audiences. Critics were mixed on it. I think Roger Ebert gave it an okay rating. Like he said it was right in the middle. And it's funny because like a lot of fans, like especially like, critical fans, like the 2000s, like on the internet, were like this movie sucks because there was no fatalities. But fans of the games back then, like kind of liked this movie. They thought like it's kind of fun, right?
Well, it's before the internet like emboldened people to just say anything and be hyper. Like everybody is so hot. Like, and I know this is pot calling the kettle black because we're three podcasters here who I guess are just. I don't know. I'm having far more fun talking about this movie over a couple of drinks versus like watching it by myself. Yeah. Like if I will say, but like if this movie if I had a bad movie night with friends and this movie came up and we watched it and we had beers and we were just shooting the shit throughout it, like I'd be having a good time with it. But like on the other side of it, like alternatively, I'm like watching this, but it, like. I can see the fun in this kind of a movie. I don't know. Like I was saying, like for me, like if I gave this a rating, it would be 2 out of 5. But it'd be like a big 2 out of 5, which is my indication of like, this is a bad movie, but you'll have fun with it.
Well, Tim, I was about to ask you, was this the worst movie you ever covered on a pod? Because we covered Judgment Night a couple months ago.
No, that movie was so... The cardinal sin a movie can commit is being boring. Mm-hmm. And while this does it for a period of time... Have you ever seen Judgment Night, Brian?
I have not.
Don't.
I love it.
I watch everything, so I'm going to have to watch it. So who's in it?
It's a crazy cast.
It's Emilio Estevez, Dennis Leary, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Jeremy Piven. And basically, they are like going to a boxing match and they end up in like the ghetto of Chicago. And Dennis Leary has to track him down and try and kill him because they witnessed a murder.
We covered this. Wild. We covered this during soundtrack month. And it has this like crazy 90s like metal rap soundtrack. It's like and then
Pearl
the movie
Jam with Cypress Hill and like shit like that.
And then the movie just does not feature the soundtrack in it. And then the action wasn't compelling to me, so it was just one of these movies.
You'll probably like it more than Tim because like
I hated this movie.
Yeah.
He directed Predator 2.
Oh, nice, Stephen Hopkins.
Yeah.
That was like a 1 out of 5 to me. That was like I would never recommend that on my worst enemy. Like I would.
Meanwhile, I have the Blu-ray, and I'm like recommending to Brian like you would like this.
Yeah, I might watch it this week. But the worst movie I covered in my podcast was an episode that just came out today. Manos: The Hands of Fate.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an iconic bad movie.
It's one of the worst movies ever made. It's a stinker.
See, there's something usually about like the worst movie of all time. It's like the Room, right? Like, oh, that's the worst movie of all time, but it's great. Like you can watch The Room.
A blast. I did The Room for the show. I love The Room.
The Room is so much fun. The Room is so much fun because it's just atrocious. Mm-hmm. But like you'll be like, it's like the worst movie ever made, and it's like on a level, I suppose it is, but it's like the unintentionality like of The Room makes it like. And like Plan 9 from Outer Space was considered the worst movie ever made, but it's like those both have movies made because of them. Like, how can they be the worst movie ever made? You know what I mean? Like the worst movie ever made is sitting on someone's shelf that they shot in the film, and it's like some Star Wars fan movie, and you're just like this the whole time.
The worst movie ever made is probably some fan film that's on Tubi somewhere. Like,
we've
never heard of it.
Tubi has like the dearths of like film.
Yeah.
if you're a masochist and you really hate yourself, and you're just like, what could I find as the worst thing? Just search like a generic, like search sharks on Tubi, and you'll find your answer. Okay, like you'll find your answer there.
But we talk about intentionality, and I think that Mortal Kombat, like this movie, like it has good craftsmanship behind it. Like, we talk about the matte paintings, we talk about the animatronics, we talk about the actual fight choreography is really good. If the problem with it is probably mostly just down to the writing and the performances not living up to, they're not asked to do much. Like it's but when it comes this is pretty much what they wanted to make as a movie. Like it doesn't seem like it's a compromised movie at all, other than the lack of blood and the lack of fatalities.
Yeah.
But you still do have what's his name saying fatalities a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
there are deaths. There's not violent deaths.
They have to tell us their fatalities because they can't show us it. Yeah. Which is a cardinal sin that this movie does. They tell us a lot. They don't show us a lot. Like you didn't need the Emperor to be some like grand surprise in this movie. Like you could have just kind of kicked off your movie with that. Like him with like Kano and just like the bad guys just there and just like explaining, like you could have had somebody explain the stakes in a more exciting way.
But it is the video game thing for the Shao Kahn, the Emperor, to be like the final big baddie kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like again, for a general film going audience and people watching it like us right now, like does it really matter? Like we already had one villain there, and it does set up as like them getting ready to fight this guy is a pretty good sequel setup, but like knowing where the sequel goes, the very like following minute, it's atrocious.
You're almost selling me on Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Honestly,
I didn't know if that was possible.
Watch like the first like minute of it, and actually, you know what? This is gonna be a fun challenge for you. Try watching Mortal Kombat Annihilation and tell me when you tap out of the movie.
When you quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I quit. Okay.
I think I'm guessing for you 5 minutes.
Okay. You're selling me more on this movie. I gotta be so real because now you're challenging. Now you're challenging me to watch this entire fucking thing. Like sit there being like, God damn it, I'm proving Brian wrong. Like I'm gonna watch this stinker.
I'm quitting on this movie.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Mortal Kombat 1995. I think we talked about this movie pretty exhaustively. I don't think there's anything we really missed.
But someone's talked about it in a while.
Yeah, we covered all the plot. Like, there's nothing else we can really talk about plot-wise.
We added more art to this movie than the movie delivered.
We did. We did some fun fan casting with the Boogie Nights cast. Like, we did a lot with this.
There's a lot you could have done with this. But thank you for having us on. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So anything you guys want to plug?
Yeah, so our podcast haven't seen it like a movie scene. Each week, Tim and I cover a movie that one of us hasn't seen before. So we just had a Michael Mann month we wrapped up. Brian was on for Miami Vice. We did also Collateral and Thief and The Insider. It was a great month. We just released an episode on The Insider, on Devil Wears Prada, and we're going to be having a month where we're going to be covering Thelma and Louise, 2001: Space Odyssey, and Drive, which I'd never seen before. So it's going to be a great month for May. No, that's gonna be in a couple weeks. But
it's a banger.
I haven't seen Drive, and I'm very excited to like revisit Drive because I haven't watched it since college. So
weren't you like debating getting the Scorpion jacket? You were gonna be one of those guys.
I was good. I if we're gonna talk about embarrassing things we did in college, I went as Tyler Durden for Halloween one year, and I bought a red leather jacket off of eBay for $40, and it's still at my parents' house.
It's waiting. It's just like fucking the Green Goblin mask calling to you. Come on, Tim.
I have double use for these sunglasses. Johnny Cage and Tyler Durden, baby.
So you should get a Scorpion jacket, but not like the Drive one. Just have it like it's Ryan Gosling's white jacket, but Scorpion from Mortal Kombat on the back.
Just the Mortal Kombat dragon on the back.
Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, you can find our pod on social media at Scene It Pod. Again, like a movie scene. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we're also on Blue Sky at podscene.bluesky.social. So thanks for having us on. This was really fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. You can follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at bwishart. You can also follow MoviePod on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and YouTube. I have a mailbag, so please send any mail, movie stories, questions, concerns, recommendations. I just want to hear some funny stories of people like trip to the cinemas or you know awkward movies you watch with your parents. It's kind of anything. I want to do a mailbag episode, so send any mail to moviepodmailbag@gmail.com. I'll have the description and the link. So
can I tell you an awkward parent story real quick?
Yes, please do.
All right. So when I was in 7th grade, this was in 2007, my sister took me and my parents to go see Good Luck Chuck because it looked like a funny movie. And for those of you who haven't seen Good Luck Chuck, it's essentially a softcore porno where Dan Cook, the whole premise of the movie is Dan Cook is cursed by some woman that every time he fucks a girl, they end up finding the love of their life. So all these girls,
which is a cursed movie idea when you think about it, just horribly cursed.
So it essentially ends up being like a montage of like Dan Cook just like having sex with all these girls. And my mom, I'm in 7th grade, I'm like 13 years old. My mom's looking over at me being like, what the fuck are we seeing? And the end of the movie has a joke where like all of a sudden Dan Cook and his best friend that's played by Dan Folberg like see a 3-titted woman. And my mom's like, we're leaving right now. We're going. And my sister was like, I can't believe like I recommend this movie for my family.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If we want to talk about an awkward movie with my parents, I remember waking up one night and I walked downstairs. My dad's watching the movie on TV and it's Animal House. And it's like right at the start of the toga scene. My dad's like, I'm like 11. Dad's like, this is a classic. You sit and watch this. And we're watching it. And then it turns into the awkward rape scene where she's like, it's like a 14-year-old girl that's like stuffing like one side of the boob with her bra. And my dad just looks at me and goes, you got to go back up to bed. You cannot be watching this right now.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't personally have a lot of awkward movie stories. Like I watch like literally everything with my parents. Like I watch like Anora with my mom. I'm like I don't know. Like we're adults. Like we can watch whatever. But like I saw Team America.
Yeah, I mean at this age it's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Even as a kid, like, I watched probably Animal House with my parents when I was like 8 or something like that. I saw Team America.
Different with my dad. My dad was like, whatever. He would take me to go see Black Hawk Down in theaters when I was in 2nd grade.
Oh,
He's
nice.
like, you gotta go see this.
No, well, my dad was it wasn't like super awkward, but it was just super funny of just like, I don't know if you're going to tell your mom about this, so just get up to
bed. My parents did take me to see Team America World Police in the theater when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. And they also bought me on DVD, the unrated cut, where the only difference is that during the sex scene, the puppets pee and poo on each other.
That's so South Park, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so South Park.
Yeah.
But so next week for the podcast, I don't know who my guest is going to be yet, but I'm going to be doing, as a tie-in for The Mandalorian and Grogu, I'm going to be doing Star Wars The Phantom Menace. I assume you guys have seen The Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be your guest on that one. I'm not gonna lie. I would love to talk shit about The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I have so many Star Wars takes just that live in the recesses of my brain. Yeah. I could have useful information in there, but it's just solely Star Wars.
Yeah.
I like the pod racing game. I'll say that.
That game was so good.
It still holds up. It's still so much fun.
They're making a new one. There's a trailer out for it now.
It's by the guys who did Burnout, so I'm like,
that's like a day one purchase.
It's not a day one purchase for me. It's very much a like when that game becomes like $40, it's a purchase for me.
You
know what I mean? Like that
drop in price pretty fast.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'll wait a month. I'll wait a month and I'll let it drop in price a little bit.
Yeah,
but we're wrapping this up.
Yeah. So until next week with Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Thank you for listening and take care.